Welcome everyone, my name is Luxeley. I am the man-child behind the microphone, keyboard, and mouse wearing Star Trek pajamas. Am I or am I not wearing Star Trek pajamas? Do I own Star Trek pajamas? Do I have Star Trek sheets on my bed? That is the big question. It's not a hit with the ladies if I do, but right now, yes, this is a PvP video. You're not being deceived. Haven't been a lot of these. There's a reason for it. I don't want to start harboring on negative thoughts, so if you guys want to leave a comment, I will gladly explain why we haven't seen a lot of these PvP videos, let alone my new PvP series, because I really haven't been doing a lot of PvP. But like I said, we're not going to get into it. We're going to delve into the action here as I'm trying to hide behind this little house, one of those big hobbit houses from Gilneas. So I'm just trying to stay as far back as possible and just kind of be a spectator but do damage, which is what basically range do the best. I'm just a better range player, just simply because I like the idea of trying to get away than trying to keep up. Two completely different philosophies, and I just fit into a range player. That's just me. Doesn't matter. Could be a hunter, elemental shaman, mage, shadow priest, or as we see here, a warlock. Now, warlocks are probably one of the few specs that I find to be a lot of fun in BFA, given the whole terrible class design, particularly on the PvP side of the game. Even it leans into the PvE side of the game quite a bit. As you saw, that's a little bit of an X-Monk that I'm wearing. I happen to like. Looks really cool for Destro. So now I'm heading back over to Lighthouse. Some people call this stables, but they would be wrong. But we're all allowed to be wrong. It happens now and then. And here's a paladin. He thinks, hey, I could do this. What is it? 1v5? No problem. I'm a paladin. But he forgot he is not a demon hunter. So now it's back to Waterwoks. Yep. Eventually, here we go. Summon what I still think is the most awesome mount in the game. I love that mount. I earned this mount back in Wrath. Now they just give it to you. Oh, you're a warlock. Here's your mount. They didn't make you spend 1,000, 2,000 gold, which was a lot back in Wrath of the Lich King. They didn't make you get a bunch of people together and do dungeons that they really don't want to do to help you out because to get this mount. It's worth it. It feels better to earn things rather than just have them given to you, or just go on the auction house. Hey, mommy gave me $200 for my birthday. I'm gonna get full, bind on equip type 460, 470 gear, buy tokens, boom. I'm instant godlike. That's kind of what the game has become in some ways. I'm delving into the negative. I don't want to. Let's just get into the action. Here's a paladin who is not going to like life, because this is what happens when you're outnumbered in a particular node. You're fighting one person and somebody else is going unabated and just pumping chaos bolts into you. In this case, chaos bolts, greater pyro, lightning lasso, very, very difficult type of spells to stop if there are two of any of those given three. So Fire Mage's Destro Lock, great combo. Fire Mage's Elemental Shaman, great combo. And obviously, Elemental Shaman, Destro Lock, awesome combo, because you can't really stop both. And of course, in case you aren't paying attention, what are we doing? We're going back to Lighthouse. So I figured I'd show this clip just simply because, or this particular BG, because I was able to do some damage. Finally started getting some gear, participating in PvP, which is something that I quickly realized that you're not going to be good in PvP unless you do Mythic Plus, and I didn't want to do Mythic Plus. I don't want to play that game. I refuse to play that. Now I'm telling people why I haven't been PvPing, but the fact is I just don't want to do Mythic Plus. I don't want to do something that is not going to guarantee me a piece of gear. I don't want to grind something out that I don't want to do. If I was going to do battlegrounds, I love doing battlegrounds. I love doing regular battlegrounds. It is the part of the game I've loved for 10 plus years. I'll do it all day long as I have some sense of fairness as far as the teams go. Like, I'm not, facing a bunch of players that are 30, 40 eye levels lower or higher. Some sense of fairness. I'll do it all day long. Even if I don't get gear, I would do it all day long. But the point is, if I'm going to be forced to do something that I really don't like doing, then I want to be guaranteed a piece of gear. Perfect example of this would be Warfronts. Okay, got a look. Interesting. Next. Everybody's going to do it just to get a look. But after a while, let's be real. The only reason why people stepped up and did Arathi Highlands or did the Darkshore, the only reason why they did those Warfronts was for the piece of gear. Or maybe it was a way that they could be inclusive with a bunch of friends and not necessarily PvP, or not get bogged down in PvE and something very competitive. Other than that, if you took away that big fat piece of gear that they once offered, those Warfronts, how many people, raise your hand if you would actually be doing a Warfront? The answer is no, you wouldn't be doing a Warfront. And, that's how I feel about Mythic Plus. It's like a Warfront without that guaranteed gear. If you had a 25% chance to get a piece of gear that you needed in a Warfront, would you still do it? The answer is no, and that's how I felt about Mythic Plus. But I finally bit the bullet, started doing some Mythic Plus, which certainly wasn't easy because nobody wants to take somebody unless they're 475 eye level to do Mythic 10, but that's another video for another day. But got some gear, and yeah, I think the level now where you really have to get to, as far as this DK is giving me some trouble. This DK is definitely giving me some trouble, but I'm getting some. This DK would have taken me out, and that big goose egg that I had in the right spot as of no deaths. We could thank this particular hunter there to my left for helping me out. So as I was saying before that DK rudely interrupted me, you probably have to have around a 445 or 450 eye level to make a difference in PvP, whether it's non-competitive like BGs or it's even competitive. Good luck getting in an RBG with that eye level. It's probably not happening. But in arena, lower level, you'll find people that are 20 eye levels higher, 20 eye levels lower than what I just stated. So yeah, lower level up into a certain point. Yes, you can get away with that. That's what you really have to do to make a difference. And you're going to have to do Mythic Plus to get there. It's just that simple. Because there are other players that are doing Mythic Plus and you're not getting the rating unless you're getting the gear. And unless you get the gear, the only way you're getting that extra piece of gear is Mythic Plus. That's the reality that we've been forced into. And if there's one thing that I really consistently disliked about World of Warcraft is that aspect of being forced to PvP in order to be competitive in PvE, or even the flip side, because I feel so strongly about the principle, even the flip side holds, which is being forced to PvP if you want to be competitive in PvE. And that's, look at this DK, he wants a piece of me. He wants a piece, and I just ran away like a scared little girl because I wanted that goose egg. I want to keep that goose egg of not dying. But I feel strongly about the principle. Some people only like or dislike something, not based on the principle, but based on whether or not it works for them. And for me, it's 100% about the principle. You shouldn't have to PvE to be competitive in PvP. And vice versa. I strongly believe that. And for that wasn't the case in Legion. That wasn't the case in WoD, but it is the case in BFA. And we're not even going to know in the alpha or the beta if that's going to be the case in Shadowlands. We can speculate, and we could have a high degree or a very low degree of being correct or incorrect about that speculation. Who knows? Opinions are worth not a lot. I think it's $1.50 buys you the New York Times of useless opinions. So, yeah, they're cheap. There are a lot of them. But when you back them with facts, when you back them with experience, when you back them with a good idea of how the community feels in general, it starts to carry more weight. Once again, my name is Luxeley. I want to thank everybody for watching and leave you with this final thought. Whatever it is by you, whether it's morning or it's afternoon or it's night, do what you can to make it epic.